Hi, here's my first video of Learn With Me, where I tried to write a subgenre of music that I've not attempted to write before. I'm in my home studio today and I'm going to write a minimal house track. Although I've not written minimal house specifically, I am a big fan of it and I throw some of the songs into my DJ sets too. Characteristics are usually 4 on the floor kick, offbeat hi-hats, crisp percussion, bouncy bass lines and minimal synth lines with a subtle progression. But it is a vast subgenre with many different sounds. Artists such as Djoko, Max Chapman, Kiasmos, Serge Malone and James Dexter are just some of the artists I've been listening to for inspiration. I'll be using Ableton Live for this session. Let's get into it. Now I'm going to keep the tempo at 120, which is kind of typical for minimal house. And then what I'm going to first start with, let's just get a kick, a bass drum kick in here to make sure it's... And I'm using the 909 kit for this. And I'm going to add some offbeat hi-hats closed. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. I'm going to go to 123 for the tempo. And I'm going to add a low toms in here. Okay. Now I'm going to get my second MIDI channel and try find some more percussive kit if we can find it. I really like the sound of the kick there, so I'm going to bring that one in. I'm starting with the drums fully kicked in, and then from there I'm going to work backwards and bring in like the intro drums and work from what I already have from there. Let's get some shakers in there. I'm not sure about that kick anymore. I'm going to get rid of that, but I do like the sound of those shakers. And then what I'm going to do is create another track because I want to find some kind of really nice percussive elements. So what I've got now is this nice little percussive part that I'm using the C78. Okay, I don't like the grrrro. So maybe just change that to a clave, or clave, sorry. Let's lower the velocity of that clave. With this percussion, I want to add like a nice slight reverb. I'm going to use Baby Audio's Super VHS, which has got a built-in reverb, built-in overdrive, this other effect they call drift, where you get like a warping within the pitch. So I'm going to apply this just to the percussion layer that we have. Let's put the heat up a little bit and add some wash, which is the reverb. And then it has this magic mode, which kind of really widens the signal. Because we're working with just percussion, I'll leave the drift as it is, but that's sounding quite cool, and let's pair it all together. The one thing I'm going to change is the tom on our 909. I like the placement of it, but I want it to sound slightly different in terms of tone. Let's try the rim shot. Now I want to work on the kick drum on the 909. I kind of want to lower the tone of it a little bit so it's a bit deeper. I'm also going to lower the high end, bit of a high cut. And let's hear it all in context. So I think what I'm going to do is automate the heat, which is the overdrive that's built into this plugin, and slowly have it come in and out. The thing I love about Ableton is their automation mode, because all you have to do is select the parameter you want and it already changes it on the channel. So what I'm going to do is increase this so it goes up to 100%. And I'm just going to copy that here, bring the automation up and then have it come back down. For the first 16 bars, let's take out the kick. So minimal house a lot of the time has these kind of bouncy bass lines. Sometimes they're even like done on real bass, sometimes they're just synthesized bass. I'm going to try write something on a real bass to kind of like a bit of a bouncy bass line and see what we can come up with. So firstly I want to try get a nice sound from the bass. I'm using Guitar Rig 6 for this. Okay, let's see what we've got. I'm just going to use a preset for now. I like that sound, that's cool. Okay, something maybe along those lines. Let me try something else. So you get the full phrase once the kick comes in. Right, let's give that a record. Alright, what I'm going to do is add a compressor and sidechain the kick over the bass. So I always use Glue Compressor. Go to the sidechain options, select 909, because that's where the kick is. Change the threshold. Nice, I'm going to push the gain up a little bit for the input of the audio. I want to change the bass sound a bit more. I kind of want it to be a little bit more subby and less toppy still. Quite like that, adding some room sound to it. Let's see if we can find EQ here. That's nice. Now I feel like, now I've added that overdrive to the Clave, I just want to change the tone of it so it fits a bit better with the bass line. I feel like the pitch isn't exactly right. Okay, that sounds nicer. Now I'm going to go over to the Korg Monologue and try find a nice sound that we can kind of get some nice minimal melodies over the song. What I'm going to do is try firstly go through the presets and try find a nice sound that kind of sounds fitting. Quite like that, that's kind of cool. Right, let's get the song looping. Okay, I like that, that's cool. Let's get that recorded in. Cool, I like that. Okay, so what I want to try do now is add some nice reverb and delay to this part. I'm going to use another Baby Audio plugin called Comeback Kid. I'm a big fan of the Baby Audio plugins. I think they're all really, really good. And then I'm also going to use Baby Audio Spaced Out, which again is another beautiful plugin which I highly recommend. Just a small space. So that's some Stardust. I'm also going to add a low cut to the bass for those first 4 bars. so the low end doesn't come in until the kick drum comes in too, just to add a bit of impact. Cool, I think that's a really nice starting point. I'm gonna now go back to the Korg and try find another layer that we can add over this as well, so like almost like a harmony. I like that. Yeah, that sounds cool. Let's record that in. I think that sounds pretty cool. Let's have a listen back. It's definitely going to quantize some of these little bits, I think, because I didn't play it as good this time, unfortunately. Okay, what I'm going to do is remove the bass after that first repeat of that harmony, and then remove the kick again. This is going to be a little bit of a breather. What I'm going to do is add another kit part in here. Right, I'm going to use the subtle electronics kit. Right, that kick sounds a little bit distorted, so I've lowered the kick thicker. What I'd really like to do is add a nice pad in there, just to add some depth. So I'm going to go to the OP1 and try find a nice pad sound that's going to fill out some of the empty space. I already really like this sound. I've been using this, I use the OP1 a lot, and I've put all my favourite sounds in the bank already, and yeah, I think this sound could really work. And I'm going to put it through the Earthquake Avalanche run for a bit of nice delay. That's beautiful. So what I've done is I've put the repeats all the way up on the Avalanche that second time round, just so it just keeps going and keeps going. So I think what I'm going to do is start off with the second section that was just the repeats all the way up on the Avalanche run, and that's going to be the first part, then bring the first part I played in second, so you start hearing that melody come in to build it up. And then after 16 bars, I'm going to increase the hi-hats to doubles. Maybe add claps in as well, actually, on 2 and 4. A bar before the new hi-hat part comes in, I'm just going to drop out the bass and the kick as well, kick drum. Let's have that first note play in this little break as well on the bass to make it sound a bit more natural. And I'm also going to take out the harmony for that section as well, just for that break. And what I'm going to do is group all the drums together, and then I'm going to use a Waves plugin, which I only recently got, but I really like it, and it's Magma BB Tubes. So let's just solo the drums and have a play with this. Oh yeah, I like that. I think the kick drum is bugging me a little bit because I want it just to be a bit more subby and not have so much high end. That's better. So I've taken off the high end using the filter in the sample section. I want to go back to this second section and I'm going to use the 606 kit and create an open hi-hat pattern once the second drop comes in. I think I prefer it closed. And now I'm going to add a reverb to that as well. So Ableton's got this great feature where you can convert audio to MIDI. So I'm going to create that. Right, let's see how it sounds. Right, now we've cleaned up that first bit, I'm just going to copy that over. Now we need to find a bit of a better sound for it. So I'm going to use iZotope's Iris 2. So let's go to pads. Let's just go down some of these patches. So we've got that. I'm actually going to put this through Guitar Rig 6. It's got a really cool delay called Psych delay, and it's really, I do like it. So let's reverse. Let's put the pitch up. And mix a bit more as well. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. And what I want to do is add the Spaced Out by Baby Audio again. That's really nice. I'm going to put a low cut on that because I'm hearing a little bit of low end there, which I don't want to have. I'm going to put a compressor on there and sidechain that with also the kick as well. I'm just going to copy the one that we have on the bass. I'm going to move the original melody that we created on the Monologue and just move it. So when the drop comes in, we don't have that in for a little bit, so it kind of opens it up for that new sound we just added in. In fact, I'm going to move that open hi-hat so it comes in once those synth lines come back in as well. So I've worked on the structure a bit there. We're actually, at the end of it, we've actually managed to do 5 minutes. So it's 5 minutes long so far. And what I want to do is do some more work on the drums, not have those hi-hats in from the beginning, maybe some of the percussion we bring in a little bit later too. So I'm going to use the EQ3 to lesser the mids and highs, and then we're going to gradually bring them back in up into the point where the synth line, the first synth line comes in. And then once it gets to this gap, I'm going to bring the highs down again gradually, and then for that last bar, they come back up for the drop. What I'm going to do actually is have a high cut on the synth parts as well and have them slowly gradually come in too. So we've got that slow progression. I'm going to add a tiny bit of reverb to the 909 kit. Put decay up, size a little bit up. That sounds cool. I'm also going to put a low cut on the bass in the drop, just a gradual one. So once it kicks back in, we've got that full on sub again. I feel like the drums are still lacking a little bit now. What I've done is I've added trash by iZotope to the full drum group. I'm using a preset called Popcorn Beats, which is giving this really nice techno vibe, which I really like. So I'm going to have that mix, that's probably about 20%. That sounds really nice. I'm going to automate the mix, because I don't want it to be in there straight away. So this is still very much in the demo stage. I haven't really got properly into mixing. I've done some panning, it's roughly mixed. I've got some automation in there. And I've added the Waves GW MixCentric, which is just a one knob mastering plugin. I really like it for just the first bounces out, just because it kind of brings a lot out of the mix. Let's have a playthrough now and see how it's all sounding. is just over 5 minutes of minimal house, I guess. I mean, obviously this is, you know, I've probably spent less than 2 hours on this so far. There's a lot that could be brought out still. There's a lot of stuff that could be added, but it's been really fun to get into it. I would probably want to change the bass line. I feel like maybe it's not bouncy enough. I feel like the drum sounds could be improved. I feel like there could be a bigger kick in there at some point. The whole drums sound a little bit lo-fi to me at the minute. But what I do really like, I really like the synth parts. I like the lead parts that we got from the Monologue and the stuff we captured from the OP1 as well. It's a good starting point, you know, for under 2 hours work, but it could always be improved. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed seeing the process. I'm still quite new to being on camera and everything, so I apologize for that if I haven't gone into too much detail. But leave a comment if you've got any questions, and also just give me feedback as well. I'm always happy to hear feedback. Thanks again for watching, and until next time.